Yo, what up? I am creating a newsletter business and I'm going to give you weekly updates, even if this whole thing shits the bed. We are on week 8, 2 months in. Let's get cracking. All right. So last week we sent out this chicken enchiladas email. And like I was talking about a few weeks ago, we did a haircut. We gave this list a shave just to only focus on people who are engaged, because right now I know that, hey, I need to have high engagement. It doesn't matter if I have a list, blah, 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 blah. If I have a list of 1 billion people, if they're not opening, then it doesn't matter. And so we trim the list to only focus on people who are engaged. And as a result, you see that we have the highest open rate ever. Well, it is inflated because we trimmed off people who weren't opening. However, what was interesting was that the click-through rate remained relatively the same. But interesting. Anyways, so we shaved people off, and then now I have an idea of the content that people like. I'm gonna focus on growing, so I'll be doing the offense on the first part of this. So if you're new to this, I'm selling seasoning to get people on this newsletter list. And so in order to get more people on the list, I got to sell more seasoning. But it's a bit of a pain in the ass right now because I'm not into the politics stuff. But at the time of me recording this, the tariffs are a son of a bitch, and as a result, again, I'm selling seasonings. My suppliers getting their seasoning from China, my suppliers paying tariffs, so then they're passing that cost on to me, which I have to pass the cost on to the customer. And so all that going on, it is what it is. Still got to sell more seasoning to get more people on this list. What else do we have? Oh, and then something else that was cool is that we get monetization offers. So you can see here, let's see who's looking at, these people are trying to pay us CPC. So anytime somebody clicks on the link that's in my email, we would get paid here. Relatively low. I don't think that amount of money is worth trying to, getting that low payout could actually damage the goodwill I have with the list. And so I'm like, I'll pass on that. But then also we see this boost opportunity that looks a little bit better. Review the boost invite. This one is, they give me $1.60 per subscriber. And if I do an email boost, I can get up to 160%. I believe that means that, I don't know if this is CPM or CPC. So CPM is like, hey, you get paid a standard fee once you send it out. Regardless of who clicks on it, there's a standard fee. That's CPM. And CPC would be, you send it out and then you can get paid based on the people who click on the link that's in that email. And so I'm looking into this, but this one is a little more intriguing. Thought that was cool, but I can't. Yeah. Anyway, and it was something weird too when I try to click on it. You didn't ask. I'm going to show you anyways. I go here. If I try to accept the invite, I'm getting this weird issue from Beehive. So I'm looking into that. All right. So let's get to the post last week. Again, you see the data right here. Let's take a review. Something that I found interesting and I want to show you. I'm trying to figure out what my demo likes. And one of the ways I do that is going here and you can view the click map. And then it's going to take a quick second to load. Okay, so it's loaded. And what you will see here is, again, you can see where people clicked. So one person clicked on the love. And I appreciate that, whoever you are. And now check this out with these articles. This is the thing that I was having the biggest issue with when I first started. When I first started, I had a bunch of news articles. Nobody was clicking on anything. So I went to the whole sex, drama, humor aspect, and I went there using articles that were related to my demo. So it's not just for example, it's not 5 things I learned about sex after I was 20. It's 5 things I learned about sex after I was 60. My demographic here is 65 and older. So I want to have demo relevant articles, but I want it to be stuff that they wouldn't see on Fox News, CNN, things like that. And so you can see when I first started, guys, it was 1 or 2 clicks to these articles. Now we're up here. But of all these, the thing about smoking weed got the least amount of clicks. So I'm going to keep that in mind because I've done smoking weed and I've done drinking. And I don't think they care about that so much. Sex, they do care about. I'll always keep sex in there. But the scam stuff is the most clicks that I've had on an article. So now I made a note of more doom and gloom, more you're in danger or you could be in danger type articles to see if that's what they're feeding off of. So for right now, what I know, that I used to do travel articles as well. They weren't getting a lot of clicks. So I'm gonna start weeding out the travel articles, start weeding out the weed articles. You see what I did there? And then I'm gonna focus on sex and drama, doom and gloom type stuff. And then obviously they clicked on the recipe as well. And then we introduced this like 2 weeks ago, and that's dope, man. 11 people clicking on this link. I don't know what they do with it, but hopefully they send it out, and having it here is a lot better than not having it here. This whole link here is just for me to get referrals. And so that's that. That's the summary of this week. I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you next week. Peace.